Welcome to Friendeavor, the podcast, the weekly podcast where we explore the highs and lows of friendship with your hosts, Danielle and Kayla.
As we journey through life, our friendships often evolve and change, ebb and flow, and sometimes even come to an end. Danielle and I are lifelong advocates for the power of friendship, and we are here to guide all of us through the many challenges and joys that come with building and maintaining strong, meaningful connections with those around us.
Join us each week as we deep dive into the intricacies of friendship, from navigating conflicts to fostering new relationships and everything in between. With insightful interviews, personal anecdotes, and expert advice, Friendeavor is the perfect podcast for anyone looking to strengthen their bonds with the people they love.
So, whether you are on the go, taking care of chores, or just settling in, get ready to explore the world of friendship on Friendeavor, the podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Friendeavor, the podcast. I'm your host, Danielle, and I am so thrilled to be kicking off season 3. It's been a while coming. We're starting a little bit later than we normally would, just given some life circumstances, which I guess I'll take a time and update you on now. Moved into my own place, so been setting that up and learning how to live it myself and exploring all the things that come with that. So that's the biggest thing. And then, of course, actually the biggest thing, that was a big thing, but the biggest thing, I have a new nephew, and Tate is here. Kayla is a mom, so she will not be with us for the next couple weeks. We will make sure we get her in to the podcast over season 3, but for now, thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I'm so honored to have a guest as my season 3 opener. We've never done a guest episode as an opener, and Tori Johnson is in the studio today. Tori, thank you so much for being on Friendeavor.
Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor. And I actually do want to speak to the Friendeavor community. I just want to let you guys know that you guys have the funniest, most awesomest host that there can ever be. So a little backstory, not me like kickstarting into this, but actually this is my podcast. I'm host number 3, co-host number 3, or number 2. Anyways, so a little backstory. Me and Danielle have been singing on the same front line for multiple years now.
Many years.
And it took me about multiple of those years to realize that Danielle is actually one of the coolest people I know. And yeah, I just quickly became probably one of her biggest annoyances at church, but you know what? I love to do it.
Biggest friends, not annoyances.
So, Friendeavor community, you are a blessed community to have Danielle as your host.
Thank you,
That
Tori.
is all I have to say in this beginning segment.
I'll give you a bonus for slipping that in as we planned,
Yes, this was planned. I am getting a check signed off right after this.
It's going to be 2 free meals plus a dessert is going to be the check.
Oh, yeah, she's the best cook, too. So if you guys ever want a meal, just knock on her door and she'll have something cooked for you guys.
Tori, I am so glad you are here. Before we dive in with Tori, I did want to put in a quick plug. One of our longtime listeners, her name is Mary. She has a burden to research a very prominent issue in the church. It's really in the world at large, but we're focusing it here in the church. Doing a research project specifically about loneliness within the apostolic movement. Married people, single people, divorced, widowed, it doesn't matter who you are. We want to know your thoughts and your feelings about loneliness. So it is completely anonymous. You don't have to worry about your results being shared out and people looking at you and be like, haha, they're lonely. No, that is not the point of this. The point is to bring to light statistical analysis that will help people engage with their communities and see how they're responding to the world around them. So if you are interested in participating in the survey, in the study, we will link it in the Friendeavor link tree. We will also be plugging it on our story. So it's about 10 minutes of your time. It's going to make a huge difference, and you'll be able to engage in this project that I think is going to have some very lasting implications and will definitely help people in the long run. So, quick plug on that. All right, back to the interview. Again, Tori Victoria Johnson in the studio with us today. And I have to say, I've never had someone who has volunteered to be on the podcast. I'm so glad for people who agree to be on the podcast, but I'm so thrilled to say that Tori is my first ever very persistent volunteer. But I think it's going to pay off nicely. So, Tori, you ready to kick us off?
I'm so ready. And by volunteer, she means I begged her for weeks on end to be on this podcast, and now I'm a nervous wreck.
Was it weeks or was it months?
It was probably months, but let's just not tell the whole audience that.
Oh.
Actually, I don't care.
Well, a little backstory about Tori. She already kind of said we've gone to church together for many, many years. We've not really known each other. That's one of the things about being in a big church is that you could literally sit across the aisle from someone for many years, which our families do, and just never really connected. But we've been on Frontline, and I think we've become pretty good friends. Yes. Tori has got one of the most amazing work ethics I've ever seen in someone. She's incredibly generous and caring and kind. And just for example, when I moved into my new place, I was kind of lost. I didn't even know where to start. I had all this space and I didn't know what to do with it. And Tori and a few other friends came and really just set the tone for my house and really helped me and organize my closet. It still looks amazing. I'll take you back there later and show you. It still looks great. I've been keeping up with it. All thanks to you and Monique and Becca.
It was a pleasure. And we got paid with chicken tacos, so it was worth it. Let's just say that.
I don't pay my friends in money. I pay them in food.
In food, yes.
All right, Tori, let's dive in. Listeners know that I actually cannot stand the phrase ride or die friend. Okay. I don't know. I think it's so overused.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your definition of a ride or die friend?
So that's actually really funny because I definitely use that phrase like probably 1,000,001 times. I also call everyone my best friend, which I should probably stop doing because there's no way everyone could be my best friend because I talk to everybody, but not like that. But until I really thought about it, and kind of broke it down and really thought what does it mean to me? Up until then, I've just used it loosely, oh, that's my ride or die, or she's my ride or die. But when I started thinking about it, for me, a ride or die friend is somebody who is committed to standing by their friend's side through the good times and the bad times. And I know that sounds elementary because we hear that all the time. But as you get older, you begin to realize that there is a higher level of commitment to this idea of being a ride or die friend. We are committing to walking with this individual through milestones that come with life, such as romantic relationships, new careers, educational pursuits, heartbreak, and even the death of loved ones. Your ride or die person, per se, now becomes more than just a friend or even a best friend. They are now an extension of your family by choice and loyalty to one another.
Okay.
So that's what ride or die means to me personally.
Yeah, because I feel like I just see that phrase thrown around so loosely on Instagram. Now, social media at large, obviously that's not, you're not seeing everything that's the truth, right?
Right.
But I think that by using that term, it kind of can set the tone of what people perceive of you. Because what if that person, and this is just hypothetical, what if the person you're posting with and you're like, my ride or die, but they really are not that close to you and they might live a life that you're not even fully aware of, but someone else knows, and that could cast a pall on you. Now, exactly. That is a little bit of a dramatic example, but again, I just think that a ride or die is so much more serious than someone who's just a friend, like a good friend, you know?
Yeah. So, when people say, oh, if my friend jumps off a bridge, I'm going to follow them. And, because, I'm there for my friend.
Yeah.
But I just want to preface by saying I no longer see ride or die like that. So, if my best friends want to jump off a bridge, I will not be following them. I love you guys. Shout out to you guys. And I know you guys are listening, but I'm not going to die for you in that way. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think of the phrase, and we hear this a lot around the rock churches, ride the river with. It really, what that means is someone who you can trust in your life and who's going to take the high roads and the low roads with you. It's not someone who they have to dedicate their entire life to you. It doesn't mean that you are subservient to them or that you have to follow everything that they do. But as life throws you guys curveballs, you can take them together.
Yeah. And I feel like that's much more relatable, riding the river versus ride or die for me.
And I feel like a lot of people who use the term ride or die are younger people that don't even know what they're looking for in a friendship. They don't even know what they're looking for in life. So they hear the term ride or die and they doesn't even know. So I'm not saying it's not okay. I don't want to start off season 3 by preaching at you about like, don't use this phrase. That's stupid. That's not my point. My point is understanding what kind of stock you're putting in a person and in that relationship.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Tori, I think it's super important that there are like physical examples of care and love that you show your friends. Just for us to get like a peek into your world, your worldview, what does it look like when your friend shows you love or you are showing them love and support? You can take one or both.
So I have like a couple thoughts on this. I labeled them 1, 2, and 3 and I expounded on them a little bit. But for me, the number one way that I show like love and support to a friend or to multiple friends is having no judgments. Because like, yes, there are going to be disagreements. That's inevitable. There's going to be things that my best friend does that I don't agree with. But it doesn't mean like it's my place to judge them on it, because there's going to be things I do that they don't agree with, and I would hope that they wouldn't judge me on it. And show me support depending on what it is. Like I would prefer support rather than judgment. Number 2 is showing up. So show up when your friend graduates. Show up when your friend gets their wisdom teeth taken out.
Tori recently went through the trauma.
It was traumatic.
Of getting her teeth out.
It was so bad. I like couldn't eat, and Danielle heard a lot of that. Let's just say that. So, showing up even when that friend just wants to show you something they're excited about, or whether they're facing one of the hardest storms of their life, I think a very important thing to show love and support is just showing up. Even if it's just answering a phone call or answering a text, like something simple. It doesn't have to be major. But words that are met with action, to me, show the highest level of love and support for a friend. And then number 3 is being loyal through it all. True love is revealed through the loyalty that you show to their face and even when they're not in the room. So like you're saying that if you found yourself in a situation where people were dissing your friend or judging their next steps or whatever, standing up for them. Yeah. That's what you mean for loyalty. Yeah. Remain loyal to them. And that is a depiction of love for me. A love for that friend, respect for that friend. So yeah. I can speak to Tori showing up. Like I already told you guys, but I don't. Okay, so I took the love languages quiz, and I really needed to take it again because last time I took it I was like 22. Okay, I'm 29 now. You know what? Let me pause within my pause and say that Tori, when we first started becoming friends, found out that I was in my 20s and about dropped her jaw on the ground. I was like, excuse me. She thought I was like 45 or something. My mistake. Just in case anyone was wondering, she looks like she's in her 20s. Because she's so mature and like has her life together, I was like, surely she's not in her 20s, because all of us that are in their 20s like act crazy and like just don't know what they're doing in life. Most of us at least. But no, anyway, so when I took the love languages quiz, I got certain answers that were probably true, and they're probably true still to this day to some extent. But I definitely think that my love languages may have changed, because I can't really put into words what the act of service was of you guys coming over and helping and supporting me. Mm-hmm. Monique came over multiple times and helped me put my house in order. Karina showed up. So many people. Like, I shouldn't have started calling names because they all showed up. Yeah. But when you and Becca and Monique and Kenya and Kara were here, and we were all hanging out together, and you guys were doing that act of service for me, you didn't expect anything in return. Mm-hmm. You were there purely to support and help. And yes, I made you dinner, but
that was like my act of service too. So I also like performing acts of service as a love language, and then having that love and support from you guys.
Yeah.
It really made an impact on me that I didn't quite realize when it was happening. And then after I was like, there are so many people who don't have this community, or who they would expect something in return, or, you know, like it'd be like, well, okay, you know, I guess I can come over next Thursday. I'll give you an hour. No, you guys were here on a Friday night, and you worked together like a team. And I know you have a lot of history working together, but you didn't bat an eye. This was the challenge, and you were willing to do it for me. And it made a huge impact. So I can speak to Tori's showing love and support, and that's one way that you've done it for me.
Yeah.
Speaking of acts of service and that kind of thing, you work a lot alongside people who you would consider friends. You're such a hard worker. Like I said, there's not two people who I know their work ethic matches yours. So how would you say that you juggle, like your work life with your friendships? Maybe it's like you work with your friends, and then being there for your friends who you don't work with. There's kind of like this whole modge podge of relationships stacked on top of each other for you. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, it's a lot for sure, which luckily with where I work, I see a lot of my friends. Well, I talk to everyone, so like honestly everyone's my friend. Which I know I say that a lot, but like it truly is. And that's one of my favorite parts of my job is like just talking to people. Like even if I stop for like 5 minutes to just talk to someone about their day or their week. But how I balance being a hard worker or working hard with also being there for my friends or being there for people is just, for me, for my mental capacity, is just scheduling everything. Like my calendar is my best friend. Like if I sit there and make a plan with one of my friends, like we're not, like it's making it out of the group chat. Like we're like actually like
I
we're
love
not,
it.
We're not
I should
just,
put that on a t-shirt.
You should.
It's making it out of the group chat
because it literally is. Like when it comes to me, like I will put, like if I plan something, I will put it in my calendar. I will put the time. I will set reminders for the day before and reminders for 2 hours before. And then I will set another reminder in my calendar for the day before that day and send out reminder texts.
I love that.
And that's with everything. That's with my jobs. That's with just working.
Did this episode make it into the calendar?
Yes, this episode.
Go.
I've been getting notifications all day. Actually, yesterday, because I was just like trying to prepare for this. But yes, I've had a lot of notifications today. But so for me, it's just scheduling everything. That's at least how I balance it. But yes, there are definitely going to be days where you just kind of wing it and you're like I just want to go hang out with my friend, or let's just go get dinner because I had a free night. And so I definitely have days like that. I'm not saying I don't. But in general, coming from someone who does work a lot, I prioritize my work just as much as I prioritize my friends. To me, they both matter, and like I said, that's where my calendar comes in. So just being intentional about work, because it's important, being intentional about spending time with your friends, fitting them in. It shows that both of them have my intention and have my investment into them, because I love my friends and I love work and I love working. So scheduling everything.
What about conflict? Have you ever had a conflict between a work friend that you still had to keep working with them, but that's something you had to navigate?
Yes. And when it comes to conflict in the workspace and it being a friend or it being someone that is a peer, for me, my first response is always kind of like analyzing, like where's this conflict coming from? How's this conflict making me feel? Because I definitely don't want to say something that will come off as rude, or especially for peers, like I don't want it to make it seem like I'm being bossy or like any type of way. So when it comes to that, I treat it as respectful as I can. I definitely pray a lot about situations like that, because I don't want anything I say or do out of a reaction be what's reflected about me. And so I try to overly analyze sometimes, like my reaction to conflict, especially when it comes to friends, and where I work, like, I just try to be a little more careful when it comes to that.
Yeah. Well, because especially, maybe particularly in the apostolic movement, when you are working alongside someone, even kingdom work, like ministry work, not even like your actual job, when a task is set before you and you're working with someone, you might even really like them. You might not be bosom buddies, but you're good friends. Something could happen that could spill over into the kingdom and over into the workspace or excuse me, over into the church outside of the workspace. If you think of like Mary and Martha, Mary wanted to sit at the feet of Jesus. Martha wanted to have that work ethic and push through. And there was conflict. At the feet of the master, there was conflict. And everything that we do, we need to be aware of what's happening around us. Yeah. Mary was not aware. Yes, she chose the right thing. Jesus said she chose the right thing. But she was also not aware of the situation that was happening. Yeah. Martha was too aware of the situation that was happening. So in exchange, that conflict spilled over into the kingdom work. It spilled over to the feet of the master, which is not okay. Yeah. That's got to be our priority. So when you find yourself in those situations, you just find that like communicating about it would probably be, or do you, the reason I ask that is because it's so easy to sweep that kind of stuff under the rug and let it just fizzle out. But what steps would you take?
So, yeah, communication is a huge thing. So, like, if you're feeling conflict with someone, it might take me a minute to respond to them. But at the end of the day, I will always communicate with them and try to keep a godly spirit about it, because there might be something they did, but at the same time, there might be something I've done that created the conflict. And so I think if we can just communicate and just express how we're feeling, and I think that's what helps us work through it. And then again, like for me, is just praying about situations that I may not even have the answers on, you know, how do I go about this conflict? Yeah. Or maybe talk to a mentor that can help me with it. Because sometimes it's things like far beyond like what we can come up with. Like sometimes we need a trusted mentor to help us and guide us through that conflict, so that it's not something that like causes division. Yeah. But, you know, maybe it's a season of distance, but overall, like keeping that unity to a certain extent. Yeah.
Tagging in on that mentorship thing, it's actually something kind of cool. Tori and I were not in two terribly different stages of life. She's 23, I'm 29. But there's one person who has been a mentor to both of us in different capacities, but it's the same person. And the fact that her experience for me and the experience for Tori, it's kind of overlapped. I just think that's really cool. So Tori, as you get older and get deeper into kingdom work and expand your skill set, you have a ton of skills and you have a ton of talents that are kingdom focused. How can you take what you've learned from mentors or what you've learned from the kingdom and craft it for someone else?
So with everything I've personally learned through mentors, experiences, and even kingdom work, I feel like it definitely has equipped me and has created an outlet for me to pass that on to someone else. Yeah. And that's very important to remember, that in friendships, there might be things that I've had mentorship through, and my friend might be going through a similar situation, but now that I have that experience and wisdom, I can pass that along to them. Yeah. And be there for them in that way, and I have something I can relate to them with. That's
100% true. I never thought about that. Someone who has a mentorship or a healthy, stable relationship with someone, being able to be helped through situations versus someone who doesn't. Yeah. You might be a peer with someone. You might be same equal footing, if you will. But Ecclesiastes says there's nothing new under the sun. Right. A situation that you are facing has been faced before in human history. Yeah. So with things that I've been mentored about, you've been mentored about, as people come up behind us, we're in a position to help them. Yeah. Whether that be friend or young person who's trying to get into a ministry or anything of the sort. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. And Tori, tell me about a time or maybe like a favorite moment that a friend really showed up for you or maybe showed out for you. What are you, tell me about that.
Okay, so I might have altered this a little bit just because I just decided I wanted to change the question and kind of answer my own thing, take my own little spin on this. But for me, thinking about it, it was a really tough one because, like I've said a million times before, I do have a lot of friends. So it's kind of hard to pick one specific moment or one specific friend that has showed up or showed out for me. And not to get sappy, because when I was thinking about this earlier, I like wanted to cry because most people might not realize, they probably think I'm just like so hard-headed, but I'm actually a very sappy person, and like I cry a lot and I'm very emotional. Not to trauma dump, but when I was thinking about this, for me, it's not just a singular moment, but it's moments throughout the duration of my friendships with my two best friends, Talia and Naomi. Shocker. Shout out to you guys.
The menaces.
The menaces. Yes, I'm menace number 1, Talia's number 2, and Naomi's number 3. That doesn't mean I'm the best. Talia's the second best, and Naomi's not the best.
It's just means, like thing 1, thing 2, thing 3.
It's just like I'm the elder, so of course I'm number 1. Yeah. But so I did want to bring them up because for me, I recognize that it doesn't matter what it is, what time it is, where I'm at, or even what I'm doing. Those girls would do anything I was needing them to do within their abilities. And no, that doesn't mean we're perfect, because if anyone knows us, they know that we're very real to each other. Not just to each other, we're kind of real to everybody in a respectful way, of course. But beyond the hiccups and challenges, because there definitely are hiccups and challenges in all friendships, there is a ability to forgive and move past those challenges. But showing up is a collective thing. So what Talia would do for me, I would do for her. And what Naomi would do for Talia, I would do for Naomi. Mm-hmm. It's something that we do out of love, respect, and like I've said before, loyalty to one another.
Yeah. Is there, when in a new friendship, do you find that there's like an expectation of that, or do you have to like grow to that point?
So for me, maybe it's because I take on friendships really quickly. Mm-hmm. So for me, it just comes naturally, but I can totally see how one would have to grow to that level. But I would say personally for myself, it comes naturally. Like if I say you're my friend, even if it's just someone I just met, like I will treat them like I would treat any of my other friends, with respect. Or I love to give people gifts. So if I know somebody loves mints and it's a specific kind of mint, I'm buying 30 pounds of those mints, putting them in a bag and surprising you at church, because why not?
Love it. Why not?
Because why not? So it's like, it really depends on the person. It depends on how quickly they open up to people. But for me, and I hate this, but I really am an open book. It's good and bad. But that's what makes me me. So I just roll with it.
Yeah.
But
so are you familiar with the friendship pyramid here on Friendeavor?
I am not.
Okay, allow me to teach it to you, because
I
think that this might help you when you say that you're friends with everybody, because obviously Talia, Naomi, and you are your ride or dies,
yes,
so to speak.
Those are my ride or dies, but I will not jump off a bridge with them.
No. So here at Friendeavor, we have a concept called the friendship pyramid. So if you visualize a pyramid in your head, at the bottom is your biggest layer. That would be your acquaintanceships. You have a lot of them. There's you know a ton of people. You might not have any sort of depth with those friendships, but you know them. You'll be cordial to them. You'll see them at a conference. You might even share a meal with them, but you don't really expect anything of those friendships. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the first tier. The second tier, friends, general friends. Oh, she's my friend. That is an all-encompassing word. Mm-hmm. That's really a heavy word. So that's why I broke it down. So you got your friends who you have some relationship with. Maybe you see them once a year. You don't really spend a lot of time with them digitally either, but you know that you're friendly with them. You're their friend. Mm-hmm. The next tier would be your good friends. Oh yeah, that's my good friend, whoever. You have more of a depth of relationship. You spend more time with them. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're closer proximity with them. Yeah. Those are getting into, and again, I cannot believe I'm using this phrase again in 5 minutes, but that's getting toward your ride or die. You know you can count on them, but you know that they might not be able to do things for you. They probably wouldn't put their life on hold for you, but they would be there for you in a dark time. Okay. Yeah. And then you get up to your best friends. This is the second to the top of the pyramid. Those are the people who you know you can count on, and that you would do anything for them. They would do anything for you. Yeah. You spend the most time together. And these are fluctuating. Sometimes someone who's a best friend in his childhood might drop down as far as an acquaintance as you get into an adult. And so the way people move through the friendship pyramid is time spent with them and the desire to spend time with them. Yeah. And what that means is you might have a coworker that you spend 8 hours a day with, but you don't want to spend 8 hours a day with them. Right. That might make them an acquaintance. Mm-hmm. There might be someone who you really want to spend 6, 7, 8 hours with at night laughing and giggling, but they live in the other side of the country. But they're still your best friend, but you just can't spend time with them. So that is what we talk about at Friendeavor. And the top of the friendship pyramid is your spouse. We don't really get on that one a whole lot because I don't have much to say in that department. But that is how that works together. So when you say that you have a lot of friends, I'm sure you do. I know you do. I've seen you in action, but they're probably more so that first and second tier, upwards of third tier.
I agree. 100%.
Of your friendship pyramid.
But funny you say that because I can actually relate to that. There's people that were way high up on the pyramid that I thought, oh, for surely they would never move down, but they have moved down. Yeah. And it's not because we love each other any less, right? But maybe seasons of life switch, career switch, that doesn't allow us to see each other as often. And it doesn't mean it's a negative thing, but I think still being there for them and showing up for them is important. But it's very ironic that you just said that because that's stuff I've experienced even within the last 2 years.
And I when I talk about this on the pod, which this is like my bread and butter. This is what I talk about all the time. When I have nothing else, I talk about the friendship pyramid. But it's because it's so relatable. It fits in every level of your life. Right. And when you think of the friendship pyramid, you're not thinking about it, okay, I categorize this person here. Right. It's not about that so much. It's just helping you personally be able to set correct expectations. Yeah. If I am expecting someone, if I call someone who is my friend, who is really an acquaintance, and I put my goggles on, my friendship goggles, and think, oh, I'll do anything for that person, but then they wouldn't do that for me, you're setting yourself up for potential hurt. Yeah. And so if you can have a realistic expectation of who these people are and where they fit in your life, you're just kind of setting a careful boundary around your own heart to take care of yourself. That's good. I love that. You wouldn't be like, okay, I am moving you from this tier to this tier. Yeah. No, it's not like that. It is a gradual thing. Yes. It is time. Yes. It's time spent and desire to spend time. Right. I think a perfect example of this is people who work together in the music department. Mm-hmm. We spend a lot of time together. Right. And our friendships grow out of that. I think a lot of good tier friend comes from that. Mm-hmm. As you spend a lot of time together, you end up growing together and end up becoming good friends with one another. Yeah. Now, if you didn't have that commonality, you probably would come back down to the friend tier and maybe even the acquaintance tier. Right. There are people who leave the music department for whatever reason. Maybe they had a baby, maybe they're just taking a break, whatever. But then you barely see them, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I don't really have a relationship with that person anymore. Mm-hmm. It's not that you despise them or don't want to talk to them, but it's just circumstance. Mm-hmm. So it really, the friendship pyramid is really about what it comes down to is having a correct perspective of the people who are in your life. Good.
Yeah, I just want all of you guys to know that Danielle has moved up in my pyramid, so she is now my new ride or die. I'm riding the river with her from now on.
I made it all the way up to that tier. Wow. Yes. Okay. All right, Tori, let's pretend like you are teaching a class on friendship. You are Professor Tori Johnson. You got the chalkboard or maybe the whiteboard, or maybe a smart board if you want to get fancy with it. And you got your laser pointer and you are creating a syllabus. You have 3 lessons that you're teaching your students about friendship, what would your top 3 lessons be?
Well, number one, I'm super excited that I could be a teacher without credentials.
There you go.
It's just like such a blessing. Thank you for having me here, class.
Becoming a credential teacher is a huge pain, so you should feel blessed.
Oh, I'm so blessed. So my lesson number one would be on no one is perfect, so don't expect your friend to be. Obviously, I'm going to briefly elaborate on all of these, but we all make mistakes, say things we don't mean, do things that contradict the type of friend that we desire to be.
Oh, say that again.
We tend to contradict or do things that contradict the type of friend that we desire to be.
That's really good. That's good stuff, Tori. Professor Johnson.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, student. So with that being said, don't hold your friends up to a standard that you're not even at. So that's what I mean by no one is perfect. Don't expect your friend to be, because we literally aren't perfect.
Yeah.
And so, and we don't get things right. And so having a level of grace and forgiveness will take you a long way when it comes to friendships. Yeah. Lesson 2 would be, which I talked about this a little bit briefly before, but is words and actions must meet. If you tell somebody that you're going to do something, then do it. If you told your friend that you would go to the store with them when you get off work, I'm not speaking from experience, but I'm just saying in a general sense. It's
giving real life. Let me just say, it's giving real life.
It's giving real life, but now I'm trying to remember, like, oh, when did that happen? But if you do tell somebody, oh, I'm going to go with you to the store after work, go with them to the store, unless something drastic changed, like your cat died, or like, then I'll be understanding. But if your stomach hurts, I don't care, girl, get in the car. We are going to the store. Because for me, words without action start to label that person as being non-dependable. Because you can tell a friend everything they want to hear, but until you put some actions with what you say, and it goes back to showing up for someone, then I don't know how much I can depend on that person. And my lesson number 3, even though I probably have like 10, 12, 15 lessons I would like to teach, but since you're giving me only 3 lessons in this class. For
part 2 with Tori, we'll go into some more.
We'll go into some depth lessons. But for this amateur lesson, number 3 would be, it goes both ways. And you hear this all the time, like the phone goes both ways, or friendship goes both ways, which actually is so true. But as individuals, you both need to put in the effort. One person cannot carry the load of friendship by themselves. It's a collaborative bond that requires more than one person investing time, resources, and their abilities into the friendship.
Yeah.
So for me, that's very important. And, I have heard that a lot recently, is like, oh, well, the phone goes both ways. It is so true. And I think just recognizing that and like analyzing, like, am I doing enough in this friendship? Have I reached out to this person? Has this person reached out to me? And just trying to look at that, assess yourself, and just be a better friend through that.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, Professor. We're nearing the end here. We're going to do one more thing after this, but as a closing reflection, if someone is listening to this right now, maybe they are learning how to become a better friend, or they're not sure if they're a good friend, what is something that they could start doing today, right now? I mean, they get done listening to us yammer on and they can put something into action today. What is something they could do to be a better friend?
So 100%, my answer every time is going to be reach out to that person. Whether it's someone you talk to every day, or maybe it's a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while, just reaching out to let them know that, number 1, you're there. Number 2, that you love them, that you still care for them, even if there is distance between you guys. And that they're valued, that you value their friendship. Because, oftentimes we think like, oh, to be a good friend, you have to talk to them often. I have many friends that I value. They know I value them. I love them. And I don't talk to them every single day. I mean, even my best friends, I don't need to talk to them every single day for them to know that they're loved, or for me to know that I'm valued, in that friendship. So I think just reaching out, being there, letting people know that you're there is probably my one advice. But I do have one more thing to say.
Ooh, lesson number 4?
Okay, yes, kind of. It's a
Bonus
little
lesson.
It's definitely a little bit of a rampage because nobody wants to know about this.
I can't wait.
It's just like it's gonna end good, but it starts a little weird because nobody cares.
Let's go.
Okay, so number 1, I used to hate maraschino cherries. And I just talked to you about how I hated all these different foods, but now that I'm mature and I have exquisite taste, I now understand why people like them. And when I go to Leatherby's and I see a cherry on someone else's sundae, I want mine and I want theirs.
Sure.
So, and most people, I don't know. It's hit or miss, but I love them. So, to leave you all with the cherry on top of me rambling,
let's go.
I'm just going to say that friends are the family that you get to choose. So, choose them wisely.
That smells like a cherry to me.
Cherry on top, musicians, please come.
Okay. I will be what you called me to be.
Oh, yeah.
We just lost our whole audience right
These
there.
are TRC's main frontline, by the way.
That's that we have to offer.
So this is what is getting scheduled on a weekly basis.
Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m.
Yep, we need that extra practice to sound this good. So
I love it. I love it. Well, Tori, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I would like to wrap up with a rapid fire Q&A.
So good.
Are you down? We're talking instant reactions. We're talking no cuts. We're talking no pauses. We're talking jumping in head first. Are you ready?
I'm so excited. I'm so ready to jump in head first.
Head first. Okay.
Head first.
If there's one that you don't know the answer to, we can skip. You can say pass and we'll come back to you. But you cannot pass like all of them. You have to like
Okay.
Okay. You can pass like maybe like 3, but you have to come back to them and answer them. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1. Call, text, or FaceTime a friend. This is not very rapid fire.
This is like me taking 10 minutes to think about it. For sure, call. Even though Talia FaceTimes me every single day, call.
I love it. Would you rather plan the hangout or just show up?
Show up.
Biggest red flag in a friendship?
Pass.
What is your go-to comfort food with friends? It may have changed after that meal we had tonight. Holla.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That smothered chicken was gas.
Dude, and the only reason I am gassing it up as much as I have, I've never made that before.
Yeah, she's
I
a
told
whole
her,
chef.
I told her when she got here, I said, I've committed the cardinal sin of cooking for people. You never cook something that you've never made before for someone. But I did.
She was feeling risky, and it paid off.
Yeah,
so
risky.
So for me, go-to meal with a friend. I mean, right now it's been Chili's Triple Dipper.
Oh, that slaps.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to get it with a whole group of friends tomorrow night. And no
Let's
shame.
go. That is really good.
That is
now,
really good.
do you get your mozzarella sticks smothered or do you get them?
I get the sauce on the side just in case I'm not feeling them being, drenched in sauce.
I actually prefer them plain and just in ranch, and then I like the honey crispers. The honey chocolate crispers.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't need the mozzarella stick sauced.
No, too much sauce.
Our rapid fire is like, okay. Inside jokes or deep talks?
Ooh, that's hard because I'm a deep talk girly, but I'm also like, I love a good joke. That's so hard. Probably I value deep talks more, but on a regular basis, definitely inside jokes.
Let's just go both because honestly, same.
Yes.
Are you the first to apologize or are you going to wait it out?
I tend to think I'm the first to apologize, but if someone on here is listening and they're like, girl,
they're screaming at their phone.
No. You've been holding a grudge. I promise. I think I'm the first to apologize, but I make mistakes. I probably haven't apologized to somebody, but if you're listening to this and I haven't apologized, I'm so sorry. Like, I know I'm sorry for something. I've definitely done something to hurt you, for sure.
Okay, wildest thing you've ever done with a friend.
Oh,
Legal can be shared in a family-friendly environment.
Okay, legal. Oh, wildest thing. Okay, for these to be rapid fire, these are not really rapid. Maybe that's just me.
Most of them were until we got here.
Yeah, can I pass this one unless
you can pass.
Okay.
What is your ultimate friendship love language? Is it time, gifts, words, acts of service?
So it used to be gift giving, but now it's words of affirmation.
Is this you giving to them or them giving to you?
Or
both?
So it's funny because I've always heard that it's what they do to you that makes you feel loved. So when I receive a gift, like, it's like I'm over the moon about it, but I also love giving gifts. So maybe it is both. I don't know.
I think it can be different.
Yeah.
I think it could be the same both ways, or you could prefer one when you're giving love versus when you're receiving love. I don't think it has to. It's not like cut and dry.
So for gifts, definitely both. For words of affirmation,
because let me tell you something, you do be gassing up. You are the gas up queen.
Yeah.
To the point where you're like, I'm like, oh, stop, Tori. Like, I'm not that.
Yeah,
okay.
I do
like,
gas people up a lot.
You do, and you're very good at it.
I am so good. But I don't want that to be taken as I'm being fake, because I will gas up. I won't say what's not true. So I will gas up what is the truth. So when I gas up Danielle, she should know it's the truth and only the truth. So help me God.
All right, this one I'm guessing is going to be a pass, but we'll see. Which fictional duo, or real duo, I guess you could do a real duo, do you think you and your best friends are most like? Is there like a book character or people that you've seen in church that are chaotic, or some stately professors that you think, yeah, me and Talia and Naomi are like that?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's definitely not a duo. We are definitely the trio, aka the Menaces, as stated before. Honestly, we find, Instagram pops up with these photos on our Explore page of all these different trios, and we send them to each other, and we're like, oh, we're all of them. But the one that keeps popping up in my mind is there's this photo of 3 minions, and I'm like, so I think we identify as minions, I guess.
Dude.
I don't even know I think Stuart, Bob,
and Kevin or something like that. I'm so glad I asked that question.
Stuart,
I almost
Bob,
did it.
and Kevin.
Okay, by the time you come back to my house, I need a full breakdown of which one of you is each, because that is hysterical. I think with the glasses, you're probably Bob. I think he's got the two eyes. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Okay, going back up to the top, biggest red flag in a friend. You passed it. We're coming back to it.
Okay. Definitely when they claim to be your friend, or they claim to be your good friend, but then when you're in a different setting and they're with different people, they act like they don't know you. That stresses me out. Because I'm like, I tend to think I'm a very loyal friend, and so when someone does that to me, I'm like, my whole life has been a lie.
What did I do to you?
I know. I was like, yeah, this has been a lie. So, yeah.
I experienced that a lot in my early teens. Not so much in my later teens, but early teens, we'd go to a conference, and the people who I was best friends with, we'd spend every weekend at each other's houses. As soon as they got around their conference friends, they didn't want to have anything to do with me.
They're like,
and
wait, who are you?
Okay, so you're fake.
So you're two-faced.
Fake.
Don't expect me to talk to you when we get back to our home church.
You can go and skip off a bridge for all I care.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I be one of the menaces?
Yes. Actually, we've been searching for our menace number 4 since we started the Menaces. We've recruited people. They didn't know that we recruited them. We've recruited people and then taken them away because we're like, they cannot match our menace. Yeah. But I feel like you're there.
I'm feeling just after saying that, I'm probably going to be more sort of an honorary one. I'm going to maybe like Professor Emeritus of the Menaces. I don't know that I could keep up with you guys as much, but yeah. So I would be honored to be considered.
You're definitely considered. I will take that to Menace
to the
2
board.
and 3 to the board
Stuart
meeting.
And Kevin.
Stuart and Kevin. But we actually do have a mini Menace, so she's not a number.
Oh, is it Talia's sister?
No, actually, technically she is a menace, but we've never labeled her a mini Menace. It's this girl from Selma that is very close.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes, she tries to sneak into her choir every time she's here visiting. Yes, I called you out.
Wild.
Well, I kind of told her to just sneak in because I was like, they won't notice. Like you fit in to a certain extent. I'll find you a robe. Don't tell.
Don't tell who, Tori. Who should they not tell?
Just don't tell. You don't need to tell.
Just don't tell anyone.
I will find your robe. There is a robe somewhere.
Yeah.
Even though she's like 4'2", there's a robe somewhere.
Just our little secret.
Yes, this is our secret, top secret.
Yeah. Okay, there was one other one that you skipped.
Okay.
It was. Actually, I don't remember what it was. Was it wildest thing you've ever done for a friend?
Done with a friend or for a friend?
Or was it to a friend? Was it wild? No, with. What was the wildest thing you've ever done with a friend? That was legal and all that. That's what we said.
Man, that's hard because there's definitely like, okay, label this wild. I don't think it's that wild, but our city hosts these events on this like pavilion they made in the heart of Old Town Elk Grove. But we noticed it was bumping one night and we're like, okay, like we noticed there was crowds of people, there was like setups, food trucks, and we were just like, why not stop by? And then we realized it was like a Filipino event and it was just like all Filipino owned businesses.
Crashed a cultural event?
Yes, it was a cultural event. And like we listened to the Filipino artists like sing. And there was only Filipino real estate agents and there's only Filipino like food. And we were like, honestly, like, this is cool. Like, so I wouldn't say it's wild, but it's definitely like, wild. It's like why?
Yeah.
You know, like, why couldn't we just go home
Sure.
and like eat cookies and ice cream? Like, why do we have to go crash a cultural event that we were not invited to?
I can't think of I honestly don't know of a better way to end this podcast. That was one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Menaces have earned their name.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
You know what? It was the Menaces that went there, I will say. So stay tuned for what the Menaces are going to do next. We might have to start an Instagram page called The Menaces and keep you guys updated.
There has been some pressure to have all of the Menaces on the pod and not just
that's where it all started. Bob. See, here's the thing. Bob might just be more persistent than the other ones because we have talked about this. The Menaces have talked about this with you
several times.
But you know what? But being Bob, I just feel like being Bob, it's just an honor that I'm the most persistent out of the three Menaces. I think that's why I have I'm labeled number 1.
Sure. I'd give you that.
Yeah.
Well, Tori, I'm genuinely very, very appreciative that you came on the pod. You had some great insights, and you're my season opener.
When she told me this, I about fell out of my chair. I was not sitting in a chair. I was standing.
Going to sit in a chair to fall out of it.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure I was right by the men's prayer area, and I tend to get yelled at a lot because I'm extremely loud. So when she told me that's right by the men's prayer area, it was probably not the best idea because
I honestly didn't think you'd react that way. I thought you would be calm, cool, and collected after asking me for a year to be on.
Well, I was just wanting any scraps you would give me. Even a 5-minute podcast would have been great, but to be the season opener, I'm practically the owner of this season. So
you are definitely setting the tone.
At this point, everyone else who is on this specific season has to go through me and Danielle.
They have to match your energy.
They have to match my energy.
They have to match your crashing a cultural event story.
Yes.
Which is pretty good.
Shout out to all the Filipinos out there. We love you.
Well, again, thank you so much, Tori. And thank you all for being so patient this summer. Like I said, many life changes, but it's been a great year. And I'm really looking forward to this season. Don't forget to check out the survey, the Loneliness Project in the Friendeavor bio. Also will be in our story. answer that. Be as truthful as possible. These answers are anonymous, and it's going to go toward a good cause that will eventually, I think, will make a great impact in the future. So have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you so much for stopping by Friendeavor, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Friendeavor the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you enjoyed today's content, leave a review and share with a friend. You can find the show notes on our website, www.friendeavor.net, and in the description of this episode.
Friendship is a journey. It's an endeavor. We'll see you next time on Friendeavor.